How to sell without selling. How do you actually do it? By educating your audience and giving them value. Today, I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes to a coaching call that I did with a client to show you exactly how you can do it as well, so that ultimately you can sell without being salesy, pushy, or manipulative. And if you stay till the end of the video, you'll notice and understand why most people, whenever they hear a pitch, an offer, they feel like they're being sold to and it feels like it's slimy or pushy. And I want to be able to share with you how you can do it by giving great content, education, value, so that by the time you finish teaching, your audience will want to buy from you regardless of what your offer is. And how do you do it with congruence so that it feels very natural? Let's begin. Let's begin with the question of who do you serve and the result you help them generate.
I am a peak performance coach. I teach peak performance and also digital marketing. I help people learn how to change their subconscious thought patterns and that thereby change their beliefs, change their habits, and change their lives.
So I can see your average order value is approximately $146. The cost to acquire a sale is about $301. Tell us, what does this sales process or funnel look like currently?
When they go from the ad to the funnel, they purchase on affirmations.com, and then there are OTOs there. That's why the price of the affirmation system is $97. I have OTOs in place. That's why the average order value is greater than 97. So the OTOs are converting well. And then once they're in there, I have them on an autoresponder series where I nurture them, and then on day 11, I bring them to, or I invite them to go to the Power Habits webinar, which is powerhabits.com. That is a $997 evergreen online academy. I mean, everything's in place, Peng. It's just they're not really ascending, as not the way that I want, certainly. So that's what I love your advice on.
So what we want to understand is, should we be spending today, this session, looking at Noah's ads, his targeting, whether it's shareable, whether it's funny, whether it's on point, and as well as retargeting campaigns to decrease the cost of a click? So should we be looking at his traffic sources? Should we be looking at his funnel, which is basically these different steps here in the process? Or should we be looking at the third thing, which is basically his offer? Should I be going into the sales page, sales video to see if the offer is compelling enough so that people buy? In an ideal world, everything's important, but we always want to look at the lowest hanging fruit to determine what is the thing we should be doing now and fix that first before we move on to the next thing. So I can imagine right now you're Noah and you're experiencing these numbers. So Noah is currently paying $1.11 per click. Should we be working on his ads to make his ads more interesting, to decrease his cost per click? Should we be looking at his structure of his funnel so that we can fix this? Or should we be looking at the sales video, sales letter, the offer stack, the presentation, so that we can increase the conversion of the offer? What can I have in my offer that is not centered around information, right? If information alone can create change, then everybody would be rich, happy, and walking around with six-pack abs. But we can't create change through information. And anybody can get access to information. So you gotta ask yourself, okay, so as part of my offer, what can I include? Is it an experience? Is it my step-by-step worksheets? Is it because they're part of a community? So, Noah, what do you think that might be for you? Like, aside from information, and even though those things could be information, I'd like you to think about, like, what are they going to get where it sounds like the focus is not on the information?
There's recordings of coaching calls with me where I'm talking to clients and they're getting questions answered about like how to overcome procrastination, how to feel healthier, how to be happier. That's all listed on the sales page there. There is the community too.
Okay, so to be able to sell our offer or the things that we eventually want to include as part of our content. Okay, now this is the advanced ninja level of selling. And in order to do that, you see, again, what most normal marketers would do is they would teach and then they would say, okay, and that's why I created this process, this product, and this product has the masterclass, it's got a video, it's got a checklist, it's got a coaching calls, and it's got a community. But when you do that, which is what most average people would do, during your close and during the time when you're explaining what your offer is, that is when your audience resistance is at an all-time highest. Why? Because to them, it will be like, well, of course you're saying this. It is because all you want me to do is for me to buy this thing. So that's why you're telling me all these different things. Okay?
Right.
So what we want to do is we want to be able to include and have these components to be the solution based on the content that we taught earlier. Now it becomes a no-brainer for a person to buy this. You see, right now, when you include the checklist and the coaching calls and the community on top of the core training, people cannot relate to the benefit of having a checklist. They cannot see the value of the coaching calls and what's covered in these coaching calls. And even if you explain it now, it's too late, because that's when they're going, well, of course you tell me how amazing it is because you're trying to sell me this thing. Teach them how to fish and sell them the fishing rod. So what is missing right now in this video, as well as on the sales page, is we're selling them the fishing rod, which is the checklist, the coaching calls, the community. But what we haven't done is we didn't give them the training, the fishing lessons that allow them to have the desire for the fishing rod. And when you try to sell somebody a fishing rod who doesn't have an understanding of fishing or doesn't have the interest in fishing, they'll be like, I have no interest in this fishing rod. So what we want to do is not to just enforce this product and this offer on them, but we want to be able to give them and marinate this value of what it is that we're eventually going to sell as part of our content delivery. For something that you are eventually going to include as part of your offer later in your presentation. Can you imagine if they landed on your page and started off you sitting down there, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be rich, I'm confident, I'm handsome, people love me, my name is Peng Joon, people love me, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be a millionaire. And then nothing happens. Have you ever noticed that the number one thing that personal development, self-help, as well as the people who are really into the secret and law of attraction, the one thing that they always do is they're always talking about affirmations, which is literally looking in the mirror and telling yourself these positive reinforcements every single day. But what if I told you that there's a better way and there's a reason why those methods aren't effective? Hey, this is Noah here, and over the last decade, I've taught this principle and this strategy over to 1 million people to help them overcome procrastination, achieve confidence, as well as results both professionally as well as in their personal lives by understanding affirmations. Now you're probably wondering, what is affirmations? Well, the main difference between affirmations is to take a statement and assume that it's already true. So for example, for me personally, one of the hardest things that I went through in life was to give up smoking. And one of the things that I would do is I would look in the mirror and say, I will not smoke, I will not smoke, I will not smoke. But I realized the biggest shift for me personally was when I started saying, I am not a smoker. And I just assumed the identity of not being a smoker. And that's pretty much what affirmations is. You see, if you want to be able to get long-term sustainable results, it just comes down to these 4 principles. It's the same 4 principles that I utilize for myself, for my clients, and I love to be able to share with you what they are. Okay, number 1, whatever your framework is. So number 1 is the internal. How do you actually change your mindset and the internal conversations that you tell yourself on a daily basis? Number 2 is to change the external, which is your environment, your community. Think about it this way. If you invited a friend over to your home and they took a huge dump in your living room, and I don't mean to sound crude over here, but how would you look at this person? Would you say, haha, okay, thank you very much, I'll see you next week? Chances are what's going to happen, you're going to kick this person out. Now, what if I told you that literally, when it comes to your own mind, think about, are there people out there that's taking a dump in the middle of your living room right now? So what if I told you that if you don't change or shape your environment will end up shaping who you are? And that's why an environment is so crucial. So if you want to have long-term sustainable results, you got to change your environment. Now, the third thing, you must have strategic execution. right? There's no point being the most optimistic person out there saying, you know what, I am confident, I love myself. But if you don't know what to do, if you don't have a tactical step-by-step thing that shows you what to do every single day, nothing's gonna happen. And that is what my training is all about. It is about having these few things in place. What if I could help you with your day-to-day routine on a tactical level where I actually showed you what it is that you need to do? What if I could put you in the community that helps you clean up your external environment? So you notice what I'm doing right now, right? So now it's like I've already embedded in and I've marinated in the power of knowing what to do on a daily basis, community, the environment. So now there is desire for this checklist. There is desire for these coaching calls where you help people overcome procrastination. Why? Because now it's not just I've got this amazing training. You've built up the value of it in advance where they're actually nodding in agreement with you in saying, yeah, that makes so much sense. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to change my environment. So they're all in agreement with you, and that is why when you come to your offer or your close or your pitch, it now makes sense, because when you say, and that's why I've created my 4-step process where I'm going to be showing you on a tactical level through my checklist what to do every single day, where I'm going to help you and give you accountability, and where you're just utilizing the same terminology you used in the past so that it help you shape your environment. They are not listening to these terms for the very first time, because they have already been sold when you are delivering content to them. So all of you, please write this down. What am I doing in my content that builds desire for my eventual offer? Well, I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes to this coaching call. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, be sure to smash the like button. It does help the channel out a little bit. And to subscribe to this channel if you want to be notified of future videos just like this one. Now, some of you asking me, how can I be part of this process? How can I ask you questions? How can I have you coach me or mentor me? We want to make sure that we are working with the people that's the right fit. You'll need to fill up a form. There's a link right below this video. Somebody on my team might give you a call to interview you to see if they're right fit for each other. And if you want to apply and see if you're a good fit, then all you need to do is click on this link in the description box below, and my team will be in touch with you.